If there's one thing I'm guilty of, it's claiming that every single nail set I create is like the best nails ever, like the most gorgeous nails I've ever done. They're my most favorite nails I've ever worn, and like nothing can compare, nothing will get better. Like I just be so proud. I think it's just because like I created them, so I'm extra proud. But I wore these nails a few weeks ago to go visit my bestie in Florida, and I got so many compliments. I feel like it really confirmed that these are probably at least the best nails that I made all summer. So we're gonna recreate these nails today. We're gonna switch up the colors a little bit so that we can get more of a fall vibe going on. So stay tuned because I'm excited to show you guys how I created this design, and also just my full in-depth step-by-step, my full in-depth step-by-step press-on nail tutorial. Yeah. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before we get into it, and give this video a thumbs up if you like nail content on my channel, and let's get into it. For this nail set, we're going to be using the natural coffin medium nails from Ombre. I've really been experimenting more with different shapes and lengths, and I've been loving it. This case is actually broken. There we go. But since I have nails on right now, I won't be able to actually measure out my nails. You never ever want to try and size out your nail tips when you have nails on. So you only want to size your nails on your bare and clean nail beds, like my thumb. You guys can see this one fell off and I've been biting it, so it just looks horrible. But good thing that I actually write down my nail sizes for all of the different shapes and lengths that I use, so that it makes it easier when I do have nails on like I do today. I have a whole list here of all my nail sizes in the different shapes and lengths. So we're going to be using coffin medium. I don't know why I tried to zoom that in, but basically I think I have the same numbers for the left and right side, so that's easy. So we have one. Okay, nail sizes are all picked out. Now let's go ahead and prep these nails. The first thing I'm going to do is buff the nails using my e-file and an electric sanding band. I think this is like a 240 medium grit. This step is super important to avoid the gel polish from peeling off of the nail. So it just gives the nail tip a little more texture, and the nail polish or the gel polish a better surface to stick to. And then I usually do file the edges or like the tips of the nails as well, but we're going to save that for a future step after we put on the base coat, just to make sure everything is nice and sharp and we're not over filing the edges. Okay, both sets of nails are now prepped, and now we're going to go in with our base coat. This nude polish is going to be the base on all of the nails. This is the color Creme de la Femme from Gelish, my absolute favorite. If you've been here, you know you know. But we're going to do, I think, just one coat actually. I think I only did one coat on the original set of nails that I did, so we're just going to stick to that. And then I'm going to be curing each nail for 60 seconds off camera. So this is one coat of that nude polish. Now I'm going to use some alcohol to wipe away that inhibition layer, and the inhibition layer is just like the stickiness after the polish is actually cured. So these are completely cured. We're going to wipe that away because it just makes it easier to paint on top and do designs and just have them come out as neat as possible. Now I'm going to go in with my hand file to file the free edge of the nails and make sure everything is nice and smooth. Okay, now it is design time, and just looking back at the original set, I had this little ombre white going on the pinky, the middle finger, as well as the thumbnail. So in order to do that little ombre, we're going to be using this color here. This is kind of like an off-white. I couldn't tell you, I mean, I guess this is called Polygelica. My husband actually got me this when he was in Japan, as you can see the little Japanese writing. But yeah, this is just like a off-white color, and we're going to use that to kind of create almost a natural looking nail underneath the design. So I'm going to apply the color towards the tip of the nail, and we're not going to do like a super defined French tip or anything. Instead, we're going to place the polish on like that. And then I'm going to take one of these really thin nail art brushes. This is one of my favorites from Beetles. I actually really love their brushes, but we're going to take that and we're just going to kind of smear this in a like semicircle shape. I'm basically just trying to mimic like the start of a natural nail free edge, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want it to be super sharp or anything. I just want like a seamless transition from the nude to the off-white color. And then I don't know what it is about this polish. I guess it's like the viscosity of it, but it kind of just shifts a little bit and settles the more that you let it sit. So we're gonna let it sit for a little bit, and it'll kind of spread out and fill in just the way that I like it. Actually gonna put a little bit of that polish on my quote-unquote nail plate. I accidentally threw away my nail plate when I did my last set of nails, so I'm just using the back of a little rhinestone tray. But I'm gonna put a little bit of that polish on the brush and kind of do that same motion, just dragging it across the nail and curving it on the sides. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and then we're gonna cure it. I'm gonna repeat that same process on the thumbnail and the pinky nail. So I would really love to know if you're a new subscriber here, because over the past few months, I've been averaging over like 500 new subscribers a month. So I just want to say thank you, first of all, for subscribing and supporting my channel, but also welcome to my channel. And I hope you've been enjoying what you've been seeing, and I just really appreciate you. But on the other hand, if you've been here for a while, I would love to know if you remember the very first video that you watched on my channel. Like, what was the first video that you saw that made you subscribe? Was it nail content? Was it my OG hair content, or was it like a random vlog or a travel vlog? Let me know down below in the comments. I would love to know. And just to know like how long you've been here, because obviously there's been people that have been here for years, which is crazy. I feel like I at least been posting YouTube videos for like 8 years now, if not 9, maybe 7. I don't know if I'm exaggerating that a little bit, but I just feel like it's been so long. It's definitely almost been a decade. So if you've been here from the very beginning, like, I love you. Not gonna lie, this method that I'm doing is kind of tedious, and there's probably a better way to get the look I'm going for, but this is what I'm doing. And if you are new here, just know that I am not a professional. I've never been to a school for nails or taught by anybody else besides watching other people's YouTube videos and just doing my own research on things, and honestly just practice. And you guys have probably heard that common little saying that practice makes perfect, but I would definitely disagree. I talked about this before. I don't think practice makes perfect, but I do think that practice makes progress, and the only way you're ever going to get better at something is by practicing it over and over and over again, and also just like trying new techniques and not being afraid to try something new, you know? So I'm all done with the little white ombre on those 3 nails. I feel like it's hard to see on camera just because it is really subtle, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to the other 2 nails, and we're gonna be using a magnetic polish for this. I'm using this red magnetic polish from this brand here, Miss He's. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. In the original photo, or the original nails, I did use blue and green because I was going for more of like a beachy vibe. It reminded me of sea glass, but to make this a little more fall vibe, we're gonna go with like reds and browns and oranges. So for the rest of the nails, I'm going to use this red magnetic color. Use this rectangular shaped magnet to activate those magnetic particles. Okay, I think I like the way that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and cure. And then I'm going to do that on all of the pointer and ring fingers. So the red magnetic polish is on, and I didn't stress too much about making sure that line was perfect because it's going to be covered up by the design we're going to do on top. So just wanted to save some time there. I feel like my lighting is really weird though. It's like hard to see what I'm seeing in person. So I'm going to try and play around with that really quick. So since the red nails will have a chrome design, I'm going to be using chrome powder. And before we can do that, I'm going to apply a matte top coat. I love this one from Gaioi. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. All these nail brands are so hard to pronounce, but this one has been my absolute favorite. And personally, I think it's the best one to use when you are working with chrome powder. So I'm going to go ahead and put a thin layer of this on. And then we're going to cure that for 60. Okay, so for the red magnetic nails, I'm going to be doing this little swirly gold chrome design. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this set is just looking a little crazy and messy right now, but I promise it's all gonna come together. So working with the pinky or the pointer and the ring finger, I'm gonna go ahead and use my rhinestone glue to create the design. I'm just putting a little bit of that on my little nail plate here. And I'm going to be using this thin nail art brush that I showed you guys earlier to create that pattern. I want these to be really thin, so I'm just lightly coating this nail brush with that gel. Also, this is probably going to be hard to see just because it's obviously clear, but you'll see how it turns out once we top it with the chrome powder. Okay, so I cured the nails for 60 seconds after I applied that design using that rhinestone glue. Now, this is the moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and put chrome powder on top and see what the design actually looks like. Hopefully it doesn't look too messy. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my thumbnail. And we're just gonna rub it on. You see the chrome powder here. And moment of truth. We're just gonna rub it on, and you want to rub it in enough so that it doesn't look sparkly. Yeah, because you don't want it to look like glitter, you want it to look like chrome. So just make sure you actually kind of blend it. And it looks super messy right now. We're gonna go in with a little sponge, and this is gonna take off the excess powder. Okay. Okay, this one is trash. I'm actually gonna redo that one because look how messy that looks. So, bye-bye. Okay, so moving on to the next part of the nail design, we're gonna do these little 3D gemstone looking things. I also am gonna add a little ring bangle thing to pinky finger. So yeah, we're gonna do, I think I have like an orange, a brown, and then also this like pearlescent color here. So we're gonna do 3 different colored gems. These are the 3 colors I'm gonna be using from Beetles. These 2 are magnetic, and then this one is just like pearlescent. I'm gonna put a little bit of each polish on my nail plate. One of of the gems on this nail will be the pearl color. The second color I'm going to use is that orangey gold color. Okay, and this one is magnetic, so I'm going to go ahead and use my magnetic one. So I'm going to add this rhinestone glue on top, which is going to give it that 3D effect and make it more of like an actual gemstone vibe. So I'm going to put more of that on my nail palette. And then I'm going to scoop that nail glue or that rhinestone glue up with a, what is this called? A nail art brush. And I'm just going to plop that on top. Let that sit a little bit to try and even out. And then I'll cure that for 60 seconds. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do on these nails is add a gold chrome outline to all the little gemstones. This set is like probably the most tedious set of nails I've done in such a long time, but it's all worth it. I promise it's worth it. But in order to do the gold chrome powder again, we need to apply our matte top coat. And honestly, this nail set does not have to be this difficult or this many steps, but it's just the fact that I don't have gold chrome gel paint and I only have the powder, so I have to do like all these extra steps. It would be so much easier if I just had a gold chrome gel polish, but either way, they're gonna look beautiful. Okay, now that that matte top coat is dry, we're gonna go ahead and outline the little gemstones with our rhinestone glue. I'm going to be using the same one that I used earlier from a cart. And I'm going to use this thin nail art brush. This is the same one from Beetles to outline the gems. Next, I'm going to take my gold chrome powder and apply that on top of the gel. And I think I'm going to use one of these little silicone tools just to try and not get too messy. Just going to apply that on top. And this matte top coat is really good. So even if you get it on the places that you don't necessarily want it to be, it'll wipe off really easily because I don't know what is in this matte top coat, but it's literally like magic. And I can already see some spots that I kind of missed, so we're definitely gonna go back in with more of that little rhinestone gel. But you see how that looks really messy? We're gonna clean it up. So I'm gonna use one of these little sponges to pick up any of that excess chrome. I find that this works way better than using like a brush to wipe it away. So watch this. Just do a little swipe and you can see how clean that is. Do another little swipe over here. Look how clean that came out. Obviously there's a little glitter here and there, but that looks really, really good. So the last thing we're gonna do is actually add like a little ring on the pinky. So this is the other nail that I did already, but I just use my 3D gel to do this little 3D ring. I think it looks really cute. And this is like trending right now. I've been seeing nails everywhere that have these little rings or what people call bangles, and I think it's so cute. But we're gonna add one to this pinky. So I'm gonna be using this solid nail glue gel from a cart. And I'm just gonna pick up a tiny little bit. You don't need a lot because it's obviously such a small area. Okay, so I have my little ball of glue, and even that is probably too much, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll it out into like a skinny log. Okay, I think that's a pretty good width, and I'm gonna go ahead and place that on my pinky nail. Now I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds. And now I'm going to go ahead and apply that same chrome powder. Okay, last thing I need to do to completely finish off these nails is apply my top coat. I'm using this one from Gaioi. Please, somebody tell me how do you actually say this in the comments, because I know I'm butchering it. The nails are completely finished and they look gorgeous, if I do say so myself. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply them with you guys on camera. So let's get into it. First of all, actually, I'm going to prep the underside of these nails by filing them. So I'll show you guys. I'm just gonna take them off the nail stands. And then I'm going to use this football shaped nail bit to file the underside, and this will just help with the retention of the nails and basically like how long they last. And now for my natural nails, I'm just going to go ahead and buff them using this little mini buffer. And I'm also going to apply nail dehydrator. And for my nail glue, I'm going to be using this one from Beauty Secrets. This is probably the best nail glue ever. I stand on that. And this is brand new, so let's open it up. And to apply the nails, I'm going to put a little bit of that nail glue on my actual nail beds as well as on the back of the press-on nail. This is what the final results of the nails look like. I think they came out super cute. Let me know what you think about this design. Is it something that you would wear? I feel like it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but let me know if you like it. Here's a little close-up of this hand and then this one. If you made it this far in the video and you have not subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy nail content on my channel. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.